First things first, the Bible is a book of spiritual laws. I used to think the Bible is just a religious book. No, it's a book of spiritual laws. In this book, it refers to the devil as the father of lies. Also, Satan is the Hebrew word for adversary or accuser. Let's be clear. The devil is not a person. The devil is that dark force. It's that dark force responsible for all evil, and it moves through different people. Its favorite creature to occupy is humans. And the devil is so clever at planting negative seeds in your mind, and he will make you think that these are your own thoughts when they're really coming from him. He's planting those negative seeds, and you're just brushing it off as, oh, I'm having negative thoughts. No, you're actually being attacked mentally and spiritually. But not only are you accepting these negative seeds as your own thoughts, but you're accepting them as true when they're not. They're lies from the devil. I had a really good friend who was battling something I had no idea she was battling. I read this article pretty much breaking down all the different things that the devil does to try to get into your mind and to try to attack you. And after I read the article, something in my spirit told me, send this to my friend, her specifically. I had no idea she was battling anything, but when I sent it to her, she was like, thank you so much for sending this to me, because I am just now realizing I've been under attack because I've been having some crazy thoughts that are not really me. Now, mind you, my friend is really spiritual and really close to God, and even she didn't realize she was under attack. That just goes to show you how clever and sneaky the devil is. One of the devil's favorite tactics to control us is through fear, because he knows that on the other side of fear is everything you want. And on the other side of fear is faith, and that's where God is. He uses fear to control us, and God specifically tells us the spirit of fear does not come from him. So if the spirit of fear don't come from God, that means it comes from the enemy. He also controls and tempts us through the 7 deadly sins: lust, greed, envy, pride, wrath, which is anger, sloth, which is laziness. Did I already say gluttony, pride, envy? Yeah, he controls us through the 7 deadly sins. All those sins can either lead to a physical death or a spiritual death or both. And the 7 deadly sins all go against the spirit because they're all based on your ego and your flesh. I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. One of the 7 deadly sins I used to struggle with pretty much since I was an adolescent is lust. I was molested when I was 3, so I'm not sure if that plays a role in why I struggle with lust all throughout my life. But when I was in 6th grade, I stumbled across the P word. It rhymes with corn. I don't want to say it because I don't want my video to get flagged. But I stumbled across the P word and I popped it in. The crazy thing is, I didn't even know it was a P word until I put it in, because on the little DVD, it said Meet the Fockers. So I thought it was the actual movie Meet the Fockers. Turns out it was Meet the Fockers, remove the O, put a U. But yeah, and I was like, as soon as it came on, I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't be watching this. Like, I felt so dirty and nasty, but I couldn't turn it off. And that's when I started touching myself on a regular basis in 6th grade. Then as I got older, that's when I started watching the P word. And it was to the point where sometimes I would watch the P word twice a day. I would touch myself twice a day. Like, it was an addiction, but nobody knew. Like, and I felt like, well, a lot of people watch the P word and a lot of people touch themselves, so it's normal. And it's like, yeah, but just because it's normal doesn't mean it's okay. And I'm not trying to demonize anybody, but we have to be real, especially if you are a child of God. That does influence you and tempts you to fall into lust. And I truly believe me getting into all those things, watching the P word and touching myself, at a very young age, that influenced me to be promiscuous as I got older. And I didn't realize I was subconsciously using sex to get love. Fast forward to like 2 weeks ago, I was recording music, and specifically I was recording a song about God, talking about waiting on God and, trusting divine timing. And randomly, randomly, as I'm working on this song, I have a thought pop in that says, why don't we touch ourselves tonight? Come on, why don't we touch? We haven't done it in a while. Come on, let's touch ourselves tonight. And I was literally about to be like, okay, why not? It's been a while. But then I was like, where did that thought come from? Here I am making a song, glorifying God, and that type of thought creeps in. But then I realized, Kyla, that's the devil. That's the devil whispering that in your ear. The fact that you were not thinking about anything sexual, in fact, you're doing a complete opposite, making a song about waiting on God and trusting God's plan, and that thought creeps in, that's nothing but the devil. Because guess what? I have not busted it open since me and my ex broke up a year ago. I have kept myself to myself for a year. Not only that, I'm not gonna lie, I have slipped up a few times with touching myself over the past year, but for the past few months, I haven't been tempted at all. And that type of thought creeps in randomly, that ain't nothing but the devil. So I was like, no, I'm not feeding into that. Because when I heard this voice creep in, the voice was like, come on, it's just one time. You haven't done it in a while. You don't want to just do it one time. I said, no, I'm not going to do it one time, because if you give the devil an inch, he will take a mile. One time turns into two, then it turns into three. Then before you know it, he has full possession over you again. So I was like, no, the devil is a liar. I'm going to meditate and I'm going to take my butt to sleep after I'm done working on this song. And that applies to everything, not just lust. It applies to gluttony. It applies to envy. It applies to greed. It applies to all those things. Do not give the devil an inch, because he will take a mile. And that is how he slowly creeps in to your mind and starts to control your behavior. I pray this video was helpful. If it was, make sure you like it. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave me a comment. If you feel comfortable sharing something that the devil's been tempting you with, or just something you've been struggling with, leave it in the comments. Y'all know I always reply. And yeah, I'm about to go to Kings Island and have some fun. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.